Hey guys, today we're going to be talking about my absolute favorite luxury makeup. I'm super excited. This is a video idea that I saw Michele do, I think a couple of years ago, and then she recently did another one, and I was super inspired to do my own version of this. So if you haven't seen Michele's video or checked out her channel, she's amazing, but I wanted to thank her first for the idea. This is a video where, at least this is my understanding or my take on it, that you basically pick your one favorite makeup product in every single category, and this is regardless of what year it was created or anything. This is just like your one and done holy grails in every single category. So I'm gonna do a full face with my faves today. Let's start off with the brow products because my brows are actually microbladed, so I'm not gonna put anything on them today, but I did wanna share with you which product won in each category. I use brow products when my microblading starts to fade out. So it does do a really good job, and then kind of towards when I want to touch it up, it starts to get a little patchy. Certain spots have faded, and that's when I get my brow products out, spruce them up, especially before I film. So the first product is the Best Brow Pencil. Hands down, this is my favorite. I really hope this doesn't get discontinued ever. This is the Huda Beauty Balm Brows, and the reason why I love it is because it's so skinny. It's like such a perfect like stroke-like pencil. It is dual-ended, so you have a spoolie on the one side, and then you have the pencil on the other. It's actually really nice, and I'm really hoping that the camera is going to pick up how tiny this is, but you can barely even see, like this far away, like where the pencil is. It is so small, but perfect for that delicate feathered-like look that I'm always practicing and always trying to achieve. Not super waxy or anything, but it just has that staying power and really nice opacity that makes it look like an actual hair. So love this one. Really beautiful. I've tried so many from Benefit. I've tried some Charlotte Tilbury brow products. Anastasia, this one is the best. When it comes to the best tinted brow gel, has to come from Benefit. This is the Gimme Brow from Benefit Cosmetics. There's so many out there that are actually really nice, but this one is the best. Love the spoolie on this. It's actually tapered, kind of like a triangle at the very top, and then it also has a really nice easy to apply applicator. It's not too small, not too big. It's so perfect, and there are quite a few shades in this line. I would say when it comes to when my microblading starts to fade out, I grab a brow gel first because I don't necessarily need to add strokes yet. But once it gets patchy, then I have to start adding manual strokes, and that's when I pull out the Huda Beauty. The last brow product is actually the Best Brow Gel. I do use this as well from time to time, very lightly, because a tinted brow gel does still have that adhesive kind of purpose. You can put the pigment through, and it actually does keep the hairs in place. You can totally skip the tint and do just a pencil and a plain brow gel. So this is my absolute favorite brow gel. It's also from Benefit Cosmetics. It's the 24-hour brow setter. This is perfect because the spoolie has two different sides. One of them is a smaller, more detailed bristled side, and the other one is a larger one. I do make sure that when I do apply this, I make sure that I'm actually taking the product off of this because it is very impactful. It's one where you should really just brush off the brush almost every time, and then as you wear the product down and there's less and less of it, you don't have to do it as much, but you really don't need a lot. Like, this will freeze your brow hairs very fast. This is definitely my favorite brow gel. So now that we're done the brow products, I'm gonna pull my hair back here, and we are going to start doing the eyes. My favorite primer of all time. I think you guys already know. I have shared this so much. It's actually looking very battered right now, but this is the Smashbox 24-hour primer. This is really nice. It's like a cream-like consistency, and you just need a little bit to smooth on the lids. Very small amount. A little goes a long way. You can see that it's not doing too much concealing. It's not really for that purpose. I do think it's more so meant to moisturize, to even out any texture, basically to give yourself a very smooth base for your eyeshadow to apply on top of. This says it sets in 60 seconds. I think for me it's more so 30. You don't need to wait a full minute, but I just like to kind of wait until everything is settled in place while the eye primer is setting, I'm going to use my absolute favorite high-end primer. This, I believe, is the same favorite as Michele. As soon as she said that, I was like, yeah, it's definitely my favorite too. This is the Victoria Beckham Cell Rejuvenating Moisturizer. I didn't get this product that long ago. Man, as soon as I got it, I was like, whoa, this is so, so pretty. Definitely has a little bit of a glow to it, and it moisturizes and evens out your base really, really well. My own personal preferences really are glowy or moisturizing primers. I have tried the mattifying ones and I don't mind them, but they're certainly not like my favorite. I would prefer to have a glowy, moisturized base underneath. This is absolutely perfect. It just adds just a subtle glow. This is not a glowy primer per se. Like if you're thinking of like Hollywood Flawless Filter, which was definitely up there when it came to primers. Just gonna put a little bit more on the textured areas, which is my hormonal acne, just to smooth that out a little bit more. But I just like this one a little bit more. Has a really nice pump to it, and I just like to prime while I'm letting my eye primer set. Now let's get into eyeshadow. This would be my next step in any routine that I do. I really like to do eyes first so that if anything tends to fall, like pigment, fallout, etc., nothing is falling on my foundation. So this is the palette. This is gonna be a blindside, I think, for a lot of you guys, because I was like, are they gonna expect this? I don't know if they're gonna expect this. If I could literally pick one palette, like one that has enough versatility for me to offer a ton of different looks, so I'm not bored. We're not talking about one quad or something like that, because it's really just like one or two looks. I wanted to pick something that had enough variety that I could grab quite a few types of looks, colors, etc. This is the palette that I chose if I literally had nothing else. One palette is the Natasha Denona Green Brown palette. This, you guys, is amazing. It's lovely. I love the array of browns in here. I love the greens, which I do think are really beautiful against brown eyes. And I also really love this side too. It's like the lighter browns, a little bit of a pink, but nothing crazy. This is the OG Natasha Denona formulation. Like, this is one of her original palettes, I would say. Like, not her first ever, but one of her originals. And they're great. You can get this one and the blue purple palette in a combination, like Black Friday, buy one, get one. That's when I got this one, and I have become obsessed. This is absolutely beautiful. Creamy, pigmented. I love this palette. It is stunning. I'm going to pull, let's see, what color should I do? I might pull this brown here for underneath the lid, or the bottom lid, I should say. Underneath the lid. What are we talking about? So I'm also going to add that exact same shade over top. I'm going to use the same brush, the EYESHADOW 18, just to add a little bit of shimmer. Adding some depth, I'm going to go in with the really chocolatey matte brown with the REPHR 2. Just doing a little bit on the end. You can see it places that depth really beautifully. So the shades I've used so far is this one all over. This is the first matte. Then I went in with this one all over again, and in the lower lash line area, then I went in with the depth with this other matte. Definitely want to add this gold next, just to put in, I think, the center. I'm gonna pick this up with a fingertip. So you can see this is a very basic brown look. It's a little bit on the deeper side, but this is basically what this will offer you, is some really nice, beautiful browns with like that nice gradient between light to dark. Also those nice greens. My all-time favorite eyeliner is definitely the Stila liquid liner. This I have now repurchased more times than I can count. I've had this in my life since I was 16, and I'm so glad Stila still has it, because I think I would be really, really sad if I didn't have it in my collection. So this one is the Stay All Day waterproof mascara, and it actually really is. Even though I made the definitive decision to pick the green brown palette, I'm still thinking about like the ones that barely made the cut, but these are the two that I was like, this this. And then I was like, wait, the green brown is a really everyday friendly palette as well. It does have a lot. So the retro palette and the glam palette, I just have to mention them because they are so gorgeous. Like, if you're a cool tone fan, this is probably the one that I would pick. If I didn't have the green brown palette in my collection, this is like literally the palette I would have picked, honestly, because I do love cool tones. They look gorgeous, and there's those wearable browns in there as well. But I wanted to have, I don't know, maybe like more colors to pick from when I was thinking about a palette that I would want for like the rest of my life and be like my sole favorites. And then this one is also great, right? So I'm an eyeshadow palette fan. It was immensely hard to pick one, but this is like a lovely one too, and also very wearable, and also the Jena colors. So you can see there's a theme here. All of them are made by Natasha Denona. The mascara that is my absolute favorite luxury mascara of all time that I would pick, and if I could only have one basically, Dior Iconic Over Curl Mascara. This has also been one that's been in my life for years. I'm trying to think, like no other mascara has beat this fully. There are others on the market that are fantastic, but this is one that is so good. I recommend this one to anybody who's looking for a luxury mascara, who wants something that is so user-friendly, does everything, it separates, it amplifies your look, gives you nice pigment, just make your lashes look gorgeous, you know? I would say it lifts them up a little bit on its own, but it's also one that holds a curl really well. So this is also a good one, and it does have that really beautiful curved wand that really gives it something a little bit extra. So this is so good. I've repurchased this one just like the Stila eyeliner like more times than I can count. So if you were to leave your look like this is how the mascara looks without lashes or anything. It's so beautiful. And I'm gonna now do lashes, which are my absolute favorite from Velour. Velour lashes for me are easy, they are luxurious, they look gorgeous, they last a long time, repeated uses, they're easy to clean. So many strengths with this one. I also really love that you don't have to cut them. That is something that I have just felt like measuring and cutting, like I'm not about that life. I just want to put on a lash that's going to fit. Not when I need to do crazy extreme lengths to make work. So now we have the eyes done, which I'm super excited. This is a perfect, everyday friendly, beautiful look with like a little bit of glam to it, right? Like the nice gold sparkle. Now let's talk concealer. The concealer hands down that I would pick, and there's a lot of really great ones on the market, but my absolute favorite luxury concealer comes from Pat McGrath Labs. This is the Sublime Skin Concealer, and I use the shade L5. I use this for basically, I'm gonna move my mirror again. To cover acne. You can see very easily to do. There's also like scarring I have that I cover up, so it's not necessarily active. I do just a smidgen underneath here because this is where I have a little bit of like blueness or purple, you know, like that discoloration that you get basically as if I was wearing, like as if I broke a nose and had like a nose cast. This is kind of what it looks like. So I do that. And then to cancel out some redness, I don't always do this, but I kind of just do a couple strokes because this is very, very pigmented. So I just kind of go like this because I have like a redness triangle right here on both of my cheeks. This is the faint rosacea that I've been dealing with my whole life. And I just take my beauty blender and I pulse right in, really squeezing that beauty blender to get in there without messing up the eye look. All-time favorite foundation has got to be the La Mer Soft Fluid. So this one was an easy one. I love this one so much. So I'm gonna shake it up. I just love this one because of the medium coverage of this. I love how, I don't know, I just love how this one feels on the skin. This one has a significant scent. For those of you guys that are scent aversive, this one is unfortunately a bad one for that. Like it's a pleasant smell, but it's still there, you know? Really hope this one isn't super dark. This is my summer color. This is 220 Neutral. I forgot to buy my winter color, which is when my skin is a little bit lighter. Foundation is now on, and this is a lovely one because it just makes your skin look healthy, supple. I don't even know. It just makes your skin look so, so pretty. So combined with the Victoria Beckham primer, it just looks beautiful. Your skin looks healthy, but not overly greasy or overly glowy where it looks like unnatural. It just looks perfect. Now this next category is setting powder. I knew I was gonna pick a pressed one because pressed is my favorite. I do like loose ones, but I would prefer pressed, and I have no idea why. I think it's just preference over the years. I was thinking about the Airbrush Flawless Powder from Charlotte Tilbury. I was like, that is so highly ranked on my list, but then Gucci came out with this one, and I love it a little bit more. This is the Gucci Poudre de Beauté, I think, or Beauty Powder, Matte Natural Powder, and I use shade number 4. You can see this one is very, very well loved. It has like a little bit of a rim with wear. But the compact is beautiful. It actually does come with a little puff if you want. This is something I have never used, but on the go it's perfect. And this is actually refillable. So you can actually take this out and just purchase a refill tray when you're done. So I really love that. And I'm going in and just applying it over top. Now this does mattify, of course, but it's that lightly matte, right? It's like the natural matte, which I really, really don't mind. Of course, I want something to be set so that oils don't pop through or anything. So I think like having a lightly matte powder is great. Just like the La Mer, this does have a scent. It's a very strong perfume floral scent. I don't think it's as bad as the La Mer, but like I really have to put my nose in to smell this one, but it is there. So unfortunately, but if you don't want a scented powder, my next favorite by far is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Powder. It doesn't have a scent to it, and it's just as lovely as this one. I want to backtrack a little bit because there was also a single eyeshadow favorite. I had to either use the palette or the single eyeshadow today, so I picked the palette, but I would say this is one of the most underrated single eyeshadow favorites ever. Like honestly, this is my wholehearted favorite, and I have quite a few that I love. I love the Victoria Beckham Lid Lusters. I love the Charlotte Tilbury Eyes to Mesmerize, but this one I love more, and I really want to get more shades. This is the Eyes to Kill Stellar eyeshadow from Giorgio Armani. You guys, this is so beautiful, and this would kind of like fulfill my pink obsession, right? Because I could have that really nice pink shimmery shade if I wanted to get out of browns or something. Like let's say this was all the makeup I had. So that's probably why I picked this one. It has a gorgeous, gorgeous shine, no smell to it, no scent at all, but this is one that feels, when you actually put your finger in, because that's how I apply it, I do a fingertip, and this one feels like bouncy, like a cloud, like it's silky bounce that no other brand has replicated. I really, really love this one, and I love the texture of it as well. It's like very satisfying and kind of like calming is the wrong word, but kind of. Like it just feels very like, whoa, that's so cool. Not whipped really, it just feels, it has that really nice like bounce, like something very, very soft. But when I do use it, it lasts a good 8 to 12 hours before it starts to collect and get and separate and all of that. So the longevity is fantastic. So really, really love these. These do not get a lot of love, and they're also pretty hard to find. I think that's probably why. I've seen them at Sephora Canada for my Canadians out there, but otherwise, I think Giorgio Armani has them on his site from time to time. Sometimes Nordstrom has them. If you can find them, if you can spot them, do get it. This is in the shade Stellar. I have a favorite powder contour, and I also have a favorite cream contour. So I think I'm going to use the cream today for something different. So I will show you the powder contour first. This is the Film Star Bronze and Glow from Charlotte Tilbury, and this is my favorite contour in powder form. Super, super easy to work with this one. It's a really gorgeous shade that kind of leans more like a bronzer. It's not super, super cool toned where it looks like almost gray. You know, some of them are really, really cool toned that it almost looks like a gray undertone, but this is one that still looks quite warm, like a bronzer. So even if you just use this, you could contour and have a bronze beautifully. Don't need to have both steps. But this is one that's also amazing just by itself as a contour. You can layer bronzer over top. Very blendable, medium coverage, has a really nice airbrush look, and gives you a really gorgeous edge without anything too crazy when it comes to difficulty level. This is in the Color Story Light Medium. Now let's talk about the cream contour I will be applying today and my all-time favorite. This is the Tom Ford Shade and Illuminate. I did not pick this up very long ago and it's been an instant favorite. This is in the shade Intensity 0.5. Now I was kind of curious if I wanted Intensity 1 or Intensity 0.5. I ended up picking up the lighter one so I could have a little bit more control because I'm not typically a contour person. So when I do pick it up and use it, I want it to be easier and I want it to be a bit of a lighter shade so I can blend it out and kind of blend out my mistake a bit easier if it ends up being too heavy. So I'm going to use a beauty blender for this and just pop it in. You can see without doing too much work, look at that shadow. So perfect, right? It's not too dark. This Tom Ford duo is absolutely stunning. You can see it on my cheeks. It's very, very easy to use. I absolutely love how it just casts that gorgeous shadow. And then this is a highlight that I really, really love as well. It's sort of like a face gloss. Like there's been a trend lately in the last year or so where people are using basically like what almost looks like a clear lip gloss as a highlight. Now this is not quite clear. It definitely still has pigment underneath it, but it's kind of like the closest to a face gloss product that I really, really love because it's that instant spotlight glow. It's not quite my favorite liquid highlight. We will talk about that next, but this is so pretty. I love this duo. This is definitely a lovely lightweight cream formulation and it's my favorite from Tom Ford. Next we have the highlight that I love that's the cream. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Beauty Wand in Spotlight. This one I will be doing today so you guys can see kind of how it is. But this is one that is so pretty as well. Now I'm just applying the leftover product. You can see it's so blinding and just pressing it into the skin. Now this is one that is so easy to use, just like the beauty wands that are the blushes. This one is so easy. It's just like put it on your high points, done. There's nothing to worry about, honestly. So this one is perfect. I do like to do dabbing motions instead of drag so it doesn't drag any of the product underneath. See how easy that is? It's so easy. That's just like the lightest layer. You can go crazy if you want, or you can just leave it relatively minimal. Definitely my favorite cream highlight by far. There has been very, very minimal products on the market that have come close to this, for sure. For powder highlight, no doubt, this is the Dior Forever Luminizer in Nude Glow. I love this, you guys. This is actually a product from this past year that has now become my absolute favorite luxury highlighter. So many have come before it, but this one is just my favorite. Now I did put a light layer of the Charlotte Tilbury so I could put this one over top, but this is a really gorgeous, like beautiful color that has a little bit of a pink pull to it, but still has that gorgeous pigment that makes your skin look so stunning. It's actually nearly the shade of my skin tone, but it adds that gorgeous shimmer and glow to the cheeks. You're gonna see what I mean very, very quickly. I just did a very light layer and we're already glowing like crazy. Also, we have another highlight on, so, you know, let's call a spade here. This isn't just the Dior, but it's so pretty, right? Like this is amazing. Like the highlight together, so pretty. This is one that doesn't emphasize texture. It doesn't make you look too shiny too quickly. It's kind of like medium opacity upon a first layer, and then as you build, you can get blinding quickly, but you can also keep it more subtle if you want with a lighter hand. There's also a really gorgeous blush color that I picked up in this one. I think it's like Pink Glow or Blush Glow. Obviously, it's like a pink highlighter, but I use it as a blush, and it is also such a beautiful product. Definitely my #1 powder highlighter of all time. I just realized I made a little bit of a boo-boo. I accidentally said that this Tom Ford Shade and Illuminate was kind of like my cream contour choice, but this is actually my cream bronzer choice. I believe this is marketed as a contour, like a Shade and Illuminate contour and highlight type idea, but I like this shade so much that I actually just use it as a bronzer as well. So that's why I put it in the cream bronzer category, because the other cream bronzers I have are just not as nice. true contour product that I use is this one, the Charlotte Tilbury Contour Wand in light medium, or this is fair medium actually. This is actually cooler than the Tom Ford, which is why I pick this one when I really want to do a contour. So my apologies there. As soon as I saw my list, I was like, wait a minute, I'm messing something up. It says cream contour is the Charlotte Tilbury. The cream bronzer is the Tom Ford Shade and Illuminate. Both are amazing products, of course, but the Charlotte Tilbury contour is just like cooler in nature. It is one that pulls a little bit of that gray undertone, which does make it more truly like a shadow. Now let's talk about my powder bronzer that I love. Hope I'm not confusing you guys. Now we're on powder bronzer. By far, Tom Ford Soleil Glow in Terra. This is one of my favorites, and this is a mini of this as well. For this, I'm going to use the REPHR 22 and just place it over the cream contour. You can see this one is also a really beautiful bronzer. That gorgeous like bronze look that has a little bit of a redness to it, you know? That's how I think a true bronze should look. It has almost like sun-kissed, like a little bit of red. Because we do know a tan is technically skin damage. I shouldn't be a buzzkill like that. Sorry, guys. We like the look of it, right? So spray tans, fake tans, bronzer, you know, let's just get it all faked up and making our skin the most healthy underneath. But really, really stunning product. Also glowy, medium opacity, buildable. Does have that nice natural finish, leaning a little bit matte, and it is a gorgeous, gorgeous compact. You can get a huge one of this as well, but there's also mini versions that you can just trial and test out. And if you really, really love this bronzer, you can get a large one. Let's talk about blush next. So first of all, I'm going to do the cream, the cream blush. Beauty Wand by far in Pinkgasm. Second, very close runner-up is Peachgasm. Both of them are in this Beauty Wand liquid kind of tube container from Charlotte Tilbury. They're glowy in nature, which is why I love them. I love anything that's cream with a little bit of a shine. I know that there's some gals that don't mind a matte, and I don't mind it either. Like the Rare Beauty ones are great, but they're matte. But when I think about like my all-time favorite luxury cream blush, it has to be this. It's just so, so pretty. Again, this is leftover product. One of my tips with these is to not always press them out when you're applying the product. I'm using the fat part of the, you know, the more rounded part of the Beauty Blender to kind of bring that in, but look how gorgeous that is. So pretty. Oh my gosh. So yeah, I love Pinkgasm. There's a reason people are obsessed with it and it's been sold out. I almost wish people didn't talk about it that much so that we could get it. So we didn't have to worry about like wait lists and all that, but applicator is perfect with that sponge. It's just very easy to dab on and blend out. And you can blend it out with the sponge, with your hands, with a brush. Very, very versatile product. My all-time favorite cream blush. Powder blush has to be this one from Hourglass. This is Luminous Flush. This has light reflecting particles, so it is still a really glowy blush. Once again, I've noticed my preference towards glowy products is maintained. I knew when it came to blushes too, there's really gorgeous matte blushes out there, but for my own preferences, glowy is my thing. So this one has like a really cool gradient and mosaic to it. I'm actually just going to lightly apply this because this is heavily pigmented as well, kind of going in over top of the Charlotte one. Just to, I mean, I would leave the Charlotte one for sure as well, like by itself. You don't need both, but just for the sake of putting as many on this look today as all my favorites, we're going to look a little bit over blushed. That's okay. And now my hair's in the way. Come on, guys. Those little baby hairs are going to be the death of me. So pretty. Oh, I love this. This is definitely a really lovely one. So get the mini because then it won't feel as bad on your wallet and still going to give you a lot of uses. Trust me. We are finally on to lips, which I'm so excited. I decided to do a favorite everyday lip and a favorite bold lip. So the everyday lip is going to go to, you guys are going to be surprised potentially, this is actually going to go to Gucci. This is the Blaze of Noon in their satin lipstick formulation, and I love this one. It is like the perfect, can you see that? The perfect, perfect color. Now I'm not going to do this fully yet. This is going to look kind of funny. because I want to talk about the lip liner that I would use as well. And the all-time favorite lip liner for an everyday look is the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Lip Cheat. These are great. I know that Lisa Eldridge makes a lovely product as well, as does Christian Audette. That's a really lovely one. I love the lip cheats. And this color is fantastic. So I'm going to apply this. I can't talk at the same time, but you'll see kind of how it works. Look how badly this needs to be sharpened. Like so bad. Oh, okay. Anyways, love this one, my absolute favorite. And now I'm going to go in with the Gucci because now we can see like truly how this lip combo shines. So lovely, perfect shade of pink in my opinion, like Jena pink. This is it. So Gucci Blaze of Noon, my absolute favorite lipstick for every day. Now let's get into the bold lipstick. When I talk about bold, I'm talking about a rich blood red. That's what I'm talking about. I love the Lisa Eldridge one in Velvet Ribbon. It's a recent discovery, but this one has got to be my all-time favorite bold red ever. Like date night, like super romantic vibes for this lipstick. It just looks like super beautiful. This is the Pat McGrath Labs Matte Trans Lipstick in Elson. This is richly pigmented. It is a matte, but it is a comfortable matte. And for the lip liner, I'm gonna actually pair it with the Pat McGrath lip liner as well, because this is the perfect bold lip liner. It's in the shade Bloodlust. So these together are like the perfect combination. You can use a lip liner or you don't have to, but you have to be a little bit more careful if you don't use a lip liner, right? So this I believe was in special edition packaging. You can probably just get it in the original packaging if you want, but this is such a beautiful bold lipstick. By far my favorite. I haven't found a satin in this type of a rich red formula that I've been impressed with. With the lip liner, it's the perfect combo. You can have light beverages and stuff, and it's going to not move on you. It's perfect. It's gorgeous. My absolute favorite bold by far. Now we're going to do setting spray. By far, my favorite is the Glow Recipe Watermelon Mist. You can see that this is nearly finished. I just shook it up, so there's a little bit of like bubbles in it. This is my third bottle at least. I've definitely gone through quite a few of them. One of the major reasons why I love this one is the sprayer. It is ultra fine, so it's very targeted. When you're thinking about setting mist, it often has a larger nozzle, and when you're actually spraying it over your face, you end up hitting like your cheek and your nose, and your cheek and your other side of your nose, and like if you're at your forehead, you're kind of hitting your brows, right? This one is so targeted, you can just go cheek, cheek, chin, nose, like it's very, very fine when it comes to the detail that it can do. So you can just do your cheeks if you want the glow, or just the forehead or whatever, but I love this one. This is a hydrating and glowing radiance, 100% facts. I love this. Definitely my favorite setting spray of all time. It is a must-have in my opinion. Lip gloss is the last thing. I thought that setting spray was, but no. I looked at my list one more time and I'm like, lip gloss, Jena, duh. All-time favorite gloss, Sunset Rose by Pat McGrath Labs. This is her Lust lip gloss formula. I will put it over top so you guys can see. It's so pretty. Like, ugh. It does have a gold shimmer. Not gonna put too much. It's gonna transfer on my Invisalign. I know it. Oh man. Invisalign is like literally a magnet for lip products. It's like more so than normal, I find, but anyway, beautiful fine shimmer gold in this. It's so flattering. It's a non-sticky, semi-opaque formulation. You can layer it to a couple layers to get full opacity. It's a really, really nice long-lasting for a lip gloss. Typically, lip glosses are one of the first to go, and I feel like this one does a great job for lasting power. And I just love this beautiful shade. There's so many in this line. Sunset Rose is just this gorgeous, very flattering pink with that gold shimmer, and the gold shimmer melts into the lips, like into your look. There's no like shimmer particles visible to the eye. It's just like this gorgeous glimmer. So I really, really love this one. All-time favorite lip gloss, Pat McGrath Labs, Sunset Rose. All right, guys, we have the finished look. You can see it's very bronzy. It's beautiful. It's everyday friendly. I love it. Let me know your absolute favorite luxury makeup products down below. If you love them, then I feel like I'm gonna have a really good chance loving them myself. I always love to pick up things that are your favorites to test. Do subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed this video. It would mean so much to me to see you come back. And until my next one, guys, take care and stay safe. Bye, guys.